just to touch a bit on this reporting, we do have reporting via lucidity. So contractor will need to upload their NMPI reporting, near misses, potential incident reporting under hazard template in lucidity. So this is
So
where
this
we as a
this is not only in HSE reporting, this is also progress reporting. We have standardized now where contractor need to submit the weekly progress and HSE report through lucidity system. That it captures the HSE leading indicators, lagging indicators, high risk activities planned for the following week, the progress of the work for the week, any potential VOs we possibly we will anticipate the projects, and any other reporting summaries which will be captured. So project managers can open this report in Lucidity, or even when the contractor logs this report in Lucidity, you will receive an email notification, an automated notification to project managers and HSC staff who can review this remotely to understand your project, where these are taken to. Like for Malaysia, I think we have one contractors be carrying out a couple of projects in various sites in parallel. So the reporting timeline will be on each on Friday, and the reporting period will be from Friday to Thursday each week. So that means Thursday, end of business, close of business, they need to log a report where by Friday, 12 p.m., the report is up in the system, and they provide action to Minehut responsible manager to review the report. So in this case, it will be project manager and the agency staff. So these are standard reporting showing the work progresses, the photos, the details, what works being carried out, high risk activities that is planned for the following week, major tasks carried out this week, project status in terms of schedule, whether we are ahead schedule, behind schedule, HSSC, is there any incidences, quality, is there any issues, exposure hours, potential reduction, where we can see improvement, number of near misses and potential incident recorded for the week, for the month, and cumulative. Yeah, so these are the contractor reporting. So we will touch this in our lucidity session, training session on Friday.
Mm-hmm. Right.
All right. Next intervention we touched earlier. We can move on. Job safety observation is talking about how do we observe this. So we have a TNT exercise. I think Gauss, maybe you can use. Do we have any
lucidity session? Yeah, I think I'm gonna use the lucidity session just to brief them what we are having in the lucidity. Nautic, audit, two-box talks, and also weekly reporting as well. All this will be explained again during lucidity session. All right, and then what is do's and don'ts in terms of the frequency of TNT, the audits of each individual of us, including CPM, until the bottom line. All right.
So this is the feedback that we mentioned earlier, that each individual role within Minehut will need to make sure that there's a frequency, the TNTs are done for minimum per program or based on the KPIs written here. So this is specifically for Shell Retail Fuel Development Program.
Yep, as near miss reporting already explains now, and talking about the document controls, we're actually managing the critical document, and it needs to be registered by at the country level where we're supposed to have the document controller, and then management review, talking about the appraisal of existing management, as a minimum conduct, which is biannual. Review the suitability, adequacy, and effectiveness of this management system. So Abid, moving forward, this is your role to ensure that you need to have at least one area to review again the effectiveness of the SC management. All right, and then annual assurance process, and also we talk about all this. You already talked so much about this.
Can you open the audit KPIs? Yeah, field audit KPI, Appendix 9. Can you go to Appendix 9 to show them the field audit KPIs?
Appendix 9. Here you go.
So if you look at this, this is project management site audit and review schedule and the KPI. Yeah. So we need to make sure that these are the relevant responsible person will need to be accountable in those areas where you need to take the leadership on. Like for instance, like design head, where safety design need to lead while supported by the PM. This is only for projects that have major changes in layout or risk, like PKDR and NTI projects. We do safety design, and then review initial HSE plan safe work method statement. This is basically the CRR. At every project, we need to do CRR. On-site kickoff meeting. A PM need to lead the kickoff meeting or supported by, or you can empower the field supervisor engineer for each project, and HSC can attend where possible. PCG meetings, where you have fortnightly PCG meetings basically with the clients. I'm sure at the Annan level, you have PCG meetings with the client, updating client the health status of the project, the progress, and so on. Yeah. So the PM will be leading it, supported by field supervisor. Random site inspection, HSE staff, and also PM and field supervisors need to do weekly, suggest between each audit. So you need to require to do this for every project site. Yeah. Project completion review at the end of the project, you need to record the actions, improvement, and rate the contractor as well at the completion of the project. So if there's any significant issues you'd like to discuss, you need to address the contractor so that before when he comments the next project, he identify all the actions required for improvement. HSE 4 weekly site audit. This is for everyone, for PMs, HSC, field engineers. You need to have one minimum per programs and weekly basis. LOD1, this is mainly focusing on the permit to work system for health and safety staff only. This is weekly where high risk works are undertaken on project site. ABIT can review the permit to work, the documents, the quality, whether all the assets are identified adequately, LMRE is done, all the evidentiary records to certify the inspections, to certify the work commencements are in place to provide you an additional assurance, and it will be led by someone. And the senior leadership audit usually led by the CPM and HSE manager on a quarterly basis. This is where I think I mentioned above to Anand, where I do walk the sites with my CPM every fortnight, quarterly, with the EPCM manager and the NDM. Maybe we spend 3 to 4 days, good quality time they spend on site, making sure that our project managers and the field engineers are delivering projects in accordance with the end-to-end requirements, ensuring the HSC standards are being followed, and so on. Toolbox talks participations, sharing of LFIs and sharing of learnings, led by our HSC staff, the PM field supervisors, need to be done minimum 2 per month. TNT, as mentioned earlier, talk not teach exercise or job safety observation program. It is be done monthly by all. We have a TNT KPI as mentioned above. Any questions here?
Yeah, I have a question. This is a very comprehensive document. I think the client and even the management won't expect us to adapt this from day one. So we would start, implementing these things. A lot of these things involve PM as lead. So I'm only talking about as my perspective, from my perspective, that people who are new to this company, to this setup. So do you allow some sort of a cushion period or a, honeymoon period in terms of, implementation of these systems? And, obviously I have seen that you want a very rigorous, sort of HSE management system with the vendor as well, with the contractors. So already the contractors that are employed on the projects, they don't have these systems, these elaborate systems. They have certain, maybe they have PPEs and they have some tapes, but maybe they don't have such elaborate system as you have mentioned here. So is there any, time frame that, maybe 1 year along the project or 6 months along the project, you would be evaluating these things, or would we get any time to, establish some sort of standards as per this document?
So very good question, Asad. If you ask me, I totally recognize the challenges because you are not bringing in a Minehut contractor here. You are going to manage an existing contractor who's no longer not an angel in the system also, right? I think you get what I mean where I'm coming from. So they have been too used to the existing predecessors or existing L2 partners way of doing things. And maybe in this area, they've been too relaxed all this while in the journey. Hence why Pakistan has been categorized as a high-risk market, and CBRE has been kicked out in the program as being the L2 partner for EPCM due to non-performance. So Shell has given us a mandate and KPI behind along awarding this contract, where we will need to create a 360 change in the culture, in the environment, in the contractor's mindset, and also building a right health and safety management system along this process. I totally recognize it's not something that we can do overnight. It's a journey, but along this journey, we can't go back to Shell and say that, hey, we are in the honeymoon period. Can I get another 1 year? Because if at all there is any incident that has occurred during this process that we've gone live, and investigation has shown that we knew certain things were not right, but you have not acted on it, things will not look good on our side, contractually. So this is where, wherever possible, go on alarm approach, as I mentioned earlier. Pick the high-risk project, high-risk activities first. Address the gaps in the high-risk contracts. Identify the high-risk contractors first, address all the gaps, and give the action plan to the contractors. Say that within the next 2 or 3 months, I would like you to see to close out all this action and present back to Mindheart with the assurance that we are improving. So this is the conversation that we got to build to our contractors, to tell them that, look here, we are fine, you are too used to how you are operating modus operandi in Pakistan, but today we have a new sheriff in town, which is Mindheart. So with Mindheart around, put aside all your past baggages away. We need to look ahead in this program. We need to deliver the projects. We need to safely do it. And in order to do this, execute this together as a team, we need to acknowledge the current gaps in the system. So what we need to do now with Abid, I know he is not one man, he can't deliver this alone. He needs completely all your support and all your participation in this. Do a quick gap analysis, assess the contractor, do an audit on them. I think even the pre-qualification processor should tell you already high level where these contractors stand in terms of health and safety. Correct. Immediately give the action to them within the next 3 months. I'd like to see all these contracts. For instance, let's say you identify them as an amber. You need to change the green banding, make sure they meet the green banding requirement, and get them to present back to you in 3 months' time. That way, it will give us a very strong position. Even there's any gaps or there's any incident appeared in this that's occurred or recorded in the system, Shell wouldn't have an opportunity to come and say, hey, I think you're not done your part. So we need to do as much as possible to safeguard our interests as an L2 partner. It means that to safeguard our contract. Secondly, to identify all the gaps and quickly go and close it up. I think there is some level of work done by Abid in the past, but I think that that work stream is not enough. We need more. We need to do more, and we need to quickly close out. So I think it's a team effort, and that can be delivered definitely, because if we can do it in Malaysia, in other markets, same thing. Yeah, I think when I came to Malaysia, previously it was managed by SKM or Jacobs. I was so surprised that SKM is a global company, but when it comes to health and safety, it's just all lip services only.
Yeah, Darwin, I just elaborate simply this language, for this experience, when we are doing this qualification for the contractors for onboarding, even then we have a contractor pool which is existing one, comes from the CBRE. You can imagine 85% contractors, they can't fill your document. They don't understand. This is a simple question. Yes, we have this Excel file, and literally they can't fill out this questionnaires. I agree.
Even Malaysia, so we do that. We have that issue. So this is where you need to coach them, guide them, take them through, set up a telecon meeting, take them every element, say that this is the expectation that this questionnaire, this is what we need as evidence for you to show us, and then give them an opportunity to prove it to us. So it's a journey. As I mentioned to you, nobody is perfect, correct? But what we're trying to hit is we are building the perfection across the program. We are making them perfect. Even Malaysia, I can tell you that I've been in this program long enough, 5 years. My contractors are still not perfect yet, but we are still perfecting. every other day is learning, every other day is improvement. That's the way how we look at it. Yeah.
We need much effort
Yeah.
to educate
So
them.
the only way to do this is you guys need to spend more time on ground. You guys need to know what's happening on project sites. That's where will contractor will feel like intimidated. Hey, Minat is coming to all project sites and summoning me for doing things unsafely, not doing things according to the contract requirement. So the more you have that conversation, contractor will feel forced to change their culture. I mean, while at the same time, we don't threaten them also, right? We need to use a psychological approach in changing the culture. So I think we need to be sensitive. Do not go and straight away give a tap on the back. Hey, you're not doing the right thing. That's not how we intervene also, correct? We need to professionally intervene and professionally address concerns.
Darwin, can I add to your answers? Just on Asad's question. Asad, we understand that and like Darwin said, it's a journey. So we have to quickly get on board on that journey to make the contractors learn. We can't be policemen, but we have to identify the weak areas and tackle each of them and how we have to do it. It has to be through you guys on the field, getting input for the contracts to be done, and where we do the pre-qualification and the assessments of the contractors where on HSE grounds, and we see the gap. And in future, when we come in, they bring in the LCSC also, we think that will also help us impart the HSE as a focal to the L3. It's a difficult part. It's not easy. It's we know that, but we have to push, and that's a target. So there's no coming back to your question, honeymoon period, that's over for us. We don't have it, unfortunately. So we'll need to really act quickly.
Got it.
Please, Darwin.
All right. Thank you. Gauss, would you be able to take the remaining sections and wrap up the annual HSE plan? Meanwhile, we park the control framework tomorrow. I could be excused.
Maybe we can have another 50 minutes just to explain to them what we have for annual plan for Pakistan.
The latest one.
Have we covered this enough, Gauss, in the HSE MS?
I
The
think
roles,
we're
responsibilities.
Yeah. We only left on the communication, which is communication consultation. We need to communicate all the.
Good to also touch about these roles and responsibility, and before we wrap up this and move on to the annual HSE plan.